I'll put the theme tune on. Any minute.
Hello there. Are you sure you're in the right place? See the name on the door? This podcast is Spine Chillers and Serial Killers. Surely you don't want to come in here. You do. Well, I must warn you that things are pretty adult in here. Absolutely no children are allowed. Obscene language, shocking and horrendous stories to chill you to your core, and terrifying tales that'll keep you up at night. The ladies inside aren't quite right. Lovely and hilarious, but very strange. Still want in, do you? Well, you'll get what you're here for. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to this week's Spine Chillers and Serial Killers. I'm Tash.
I'm Emma.
And I'm Becky. Hi.
Hello.
There, Tash.
You did. You came in. You meant that.
Yes.
You meant that. Yes.
Oh, I really want to be a radio presenter.
I think you should.
I'd love it.
I think you should. I think you'd do well. But in the meantime, 100th episode.
Yay for us.
Yeah.
I'll be
I can't
honest,
believe it.
the most committed I've been to anything in the
Amazing.
last 7 years of my life.
Yes, 100.
I'm so glad it's with us.
Yeah.
Yes, true. Yes. When we started, I remember reading a statistic that most podcasts don't make it past 7 episodes.
Fuck
And
off.
it-
Look at that.
And if they do, then it's a really good sign. And I was like, I reckon me and Becky will probably get to 10, 20 maybe. But I'd never have thought we'd have got here. 100? Crazy.
It's
I
mad.
think we've done this 100 times. 100 times.
Actually,
Mental.
over that. Because I didn't count all the short episodes that we did, and I haven't counted all the special guests and stuff like that. So we've actually done this more than 100.
More than that.
Good for us.
And obviously we didn't count the times that we went to record and something went wrong.
No, true. That reminds me, and I know this is going out live, but I definitely know I will forget this. We need to record something for Edward October.
Edward, we've got your back. We will record it for you.
That's
Yeah.
proof now that
Soon.
I have set soon. Well, he needs it soon, so we need to get on it.
Soon. We're on it like
Soon.
hard bonnets.
Yeah.
Stole my line.
So-
Stole my line.
How are you, lovely ladies? Are you all
Really good, thank you. It's been a stressful couple of weeks.
right? Crazy.
One of the reasons we're late, guys, is because my daughter trapped her hand in a car door.
Cardle.
She shut her hand in it. So
Literally like half an hour before we
Yeah.
were going to record.
we were about to record. I then had to send a message to the girls saying that I was on the way to hospital with my daughter. So luckily it wasn't broken, but it's been a traumatic 2 weeks, not going to lie. So would
It
not
was very
recommend to a
swollen.
friend. Oh, it was horrendous. Like clinically
like
it looked
Big
broken.
ball.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
So yeah, wouldn't recommend to a friend. So yeah, don't do that.
And then
Okay.
we couldn't catch up because I was going to the UK to see my family that I hadn't seen for years and years and years, thanks to, the pandemic and all sorts of crap. So, I got to have a few days with them, which was cool. But I've got something to show you girls from England because I found this story really scary.
Go on.
So
Oh,
I was staying at my brother's house. And he has absolutely immaculate taste. He has absolutely immaculate taste. Like, his home decor is gorgeous. But there was one painting that I hated. Like, I was like, I'm not going to be rude. I'm obviously not going to say, what's that?
I would have.
But then my sister, who I adore, came over and we were all having dinner together, and she said to my brother, can you please put a scarf over that painting so I don't have to look at it?
What is it? Have you got a picture of it?
Yeah, I've got a picture. So then I was like, thank God you said something, Claude, because it has been terrifying me ever since we came over, but I didn't want to say anything. And then I got the story of the painting, which just made it even more horrifying. Right, so I'll show you the picture.
What? Who's picking that?
Right.
What's that? It's good to see that's been a sexy thing for a while.
But yeah, so that is the picture. Is some kind of like a clown, French clown. I can't remember what they're called. What they're called? Like a
I thought it was a woman going.
No, it's a clown. Poirot?
Oh, is it like a meme?
I think I must have seen it.
Not a meme, a mime. Is it like a meme? I mean, it could be a meme. Starting off strong. Anyway, so he puts this scarf over the picture for my sister. And he then goes on to say, oh, we found that. I was like, what do you mean you found it? Oh, we found it in the street.
It just turned up.
They found it in the street. And apparently they've researched it, and it's an original oil painting by some famous artist, and it's a really old picture, so it's probably worth some money, right? Who the fuck is throwing out a picture like that? Why are they throwing?
Sensible people, because it's probably haunted.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Who's picking it up? Who's picking that up? Oh, this would go nice in the kitchen. Great.
My brother and his wife. That's
crazy mofos.
And they think it's hilarious. Oh, we found this in the street. And me, my sister, and my other brother were like, that's cursed. There is no way that thing is not cursed.
But
I've never seen any horror film ever. No?
Well, I think that's what they find funny about it.
Did they find the picture, or did the picture find them?
Bum, bum, bum. I just don't know.
That is the question.
So yeah, that was spooky. To be fair, in his house, I never saw anything. It didn't creep me out, and I only knew of the painting the last day. That story on the last day. So that was cool.
That's good.
Yeah. Just to say, if you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook, could you please send us a little message just so we know that you're there?
I am on the comments on Facebook Live. So when I look down, that's what I'm looking at, the comments. Hello, Verity, mother. Hello.
Oh, that's odd, because they should have been coming through here, and they're not.
Hello, Leanne. Don't know if you're still watching, but you were. And hello, Rachel. Hey.
Is that Rachel, your friend?
Rachel, my friend. Hey.
Oh, hi, Tasha's
friend.
Rachel.
Tasha's friend.
She has also got other people to listen to our podcast. She's got other people to listen to our posts. Oh.
Are you all right?
You know when that happens. That's it. I can't say it. She's got other people to listen to us, okay?
To the what?
I thought you were going to say it wrong again.
To our
spoon and the fork.
Podcast.
Yes.
Well.
Thanks, Rachel. Superstar.
Hi, Libby. Leanne is listening. She says hello, lovelies.
Oh, hello, Leanne. Right. I have a few little things to talk about for our 100th, and I think what better way to start it off? We're mothers. We're all mothers.
Yeah, we're all mothers.
But Becky's just broke the illusion because we're all wearing pajama bottoms, and she's forgot to mute her. She's forgot to mute.
Sorry, I'm coming. Sorry.
Oh, God knows. Oh, she can hear us, though.
What you were saying. Yeah, I can hear you. I was laughing at you. That's why I was like, forgot that I was wearing my pajama bottom.
We all look, like we're dressed and it's pajamas on the bottom. Yeah. Anyway, we got a 5-star review.
Yay!
Hi, well done. Thank you. Well done us. That's what I was saying. I meant to say thank you.
To us. Go on, Becky, high five me.
Oh, I didn't do it to the camera.
That was very, very awkward and cringy. There was a lot of.
Oh no! I'm gonna cringe about that one. You have to not leave this video up. Just keep it as a live one, and then get rid of it forever.
It's staying up forever. Okay. Here we go. I'm finding my stuff. A++, highly recommend. 5 stars.
Oh, thanks.
We're such goofy girls. I can relate. I love all the bits. I find myself with an accent.
Sorry, are we goofy? I've never.
I'm sorry. Hang on. Tash,
I've never thought of myself as goofy.
No. Tash.
No, I'm quirky.
Hang on. Let's just stop for a minute. Let's go 30 seconds. Okay, firstly, there's Tash's laugh that she just did, which literally sounded like goofy. But 2 minutes ago, you two were going. So yes. I'm afraid we are goofy.
I'm also panicking because I don't know where my glasses are all of a sudden.
Oh no.
No, I think they're in my handbag. I think they're in my handbag. They're not my face.
She can see herself.
Well, one day you won't be able to. One will be more like me and you won't see anything.
Okay, sorry. Anyway, back to the really great comment about us.
Such goofy girls. I love all the bits. I find myself with an accent after listening. Thank you. And that was from Gamer 113995950002.
Yay!
Thank you so much for the lovely review.
Gamer 300 2.
702.
Okay. Then I asked for some favourite bits. So I asked for listeners to get in touch with us and let us know. Hello, lovelies. Hola. Hey, ladies. Hello, ladies.
Oh, can you see it?
What is that, though? Is that
that's the chat. No, that's the chat. So Carly says, hello. Actually, she says, hola. Rachel, hey, ladies. And Don, I'm not going to try and say your surname. De Cristofaro.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, it was actually really easy. He says, hello, ladies. So, hello.
Oh, hello.
Thanks for joining us.
Indeed. It is popping up for me, but there's no names. I can see.
I saw that on the live chat. Yeah. So I'll just keep an eye on the Facebook.
That's cool. So, yeah. Leanne was the first one to get in touch with her favourite bits. Confusing esophagus and sarcophagus.
It's up there.
It's up there.
That's what was on my list to discuss today. Yeah.
Things that don't have anything to do with each other whatsoever.
They're similar.
I mean, an esophagus would be in a sarcophagus. Don't they remove all the inside bits? I don't know too much. Let's not get into this tonight.
Becky, do you want to go? An esophagus in a sarcophagus?
No. I don't think we should start that again.
Let's not do that again.
Don't start that again.
And oh no, this is Rochelle. Sorry, I'm so sorry. This isn't Leanne. This is Rochelle. She is still waiting for a Down for a Cult t-shirt.
T-shirts are pending.
I mean, to be fair, if we're being honest, that we've not even looked into it.
No, we haven't. But I did say again today that I really love a cult, and somebody really laughed at me. And I was like, no, I'm serious. I'd love to be in a cult.
And then their eyes grew wide.
Thing is, I've seen a lot of Netflix documentaries on cults
me too.
now, and I'm like, it's not that great, actually. It's not good.
I was listening to another podcast actually this morning on the way into work, and cults always have men leading them, and
we need a woman cult.
Yeah, that's what I want. I would call it a commune, but I would love to be the leader of a cult.
I'd hate to burst your bubbles, but there are cults where it's the woman that leads them, and they don't end very well either.
Oh,
Cara Beth said, "Hello, ladies. It's Cara Beth. I was on YouTube, but I moved to Facebook to say hi. Hello, Cara Beth. Great that you're here because you can correct us because Lord knows we need it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, Leanne. She said Forsynic. That was one of her favourite
Forsynic
moments.
was great too.
Also, she can't look at a bar of soap the same since that dear old Italian lady episode, and that was the Leonardo Ciuli episode. Do you remember, Bex? It was our second episode, so it's been archived now.
Oh, I don't remember that.
She killed her mates and turned them into soap.
I don't remember that, but wild. I love a bar of soap.
Wasn't it because she believed that if she didn't do it, her son was going to die at war or something?
Oh.
It was something to do with saving him, yeah. And then I think she was just stealing money. I can't remember. It was a long time ago now. It was 98 episodes ago. 99 episodes
indeed.
ago.
Wow.
It was indeed. So, and the episode where I said Forsynic, I mean, I'm never going to live that down. I was so convinced I was saying it right. I could not believe that you two didn't know what I was talking about. The crimey word, for God's sake.
It was wild.
Oh, that one.
It was wild that you thought it was a word.
I was absolutely convinced. And
you were saying Forsynic, and I was like, that sounds like foreskin, but she's not saying Forsynic. Forensic.
I'm a foreskin detective. No. Yeah, it was a bad one. It was a bad one. And that was episode 3 of season 2, if you want to go and check it out. It was First Responder Ghost Stories. I'm just opening a bottle of e-liquid. If that looked dodgy, that's all I'm doing. What else did I have? Sarah said one of her faves is La Pascualita. Do you remember that one? The corpse bride.
The corpse bride.
Yeah.
And she said it was it was the hands. Do you remember when we showed
it was weird, that one,
yeah.
wasn't it? Hi, Darcy.
Hello. Cara Beth, seems as you're here. Did you move from YouTube just to chat, or was there an issue with YouTube? Because I don't know if it's streaming properly. So just let us know if everything was okay. So yeah, that was season 3, episode 22, La Pascualita. And that was also on the episode that you talked about Andrew Finch. And I think, if I remember correctly, he was the guy that got swatted. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah.
That was terrible. That was a good episode. Okay, John. Oh, and I'm with John on this one. Peking Lynn.
Oh, yeah.
That was
She scurried, didn't she?
Horrible story where she's just like smiling and like, oh, awful.
Cara Beth just said she came over here just to chat. The video looked like it was working. Thanks, Cara Beth.
Yeah, he then wrote Scuttle. She scuttled.
Oh, yeah.
Season 1, episode 20, a horrifying Reddit story. If anybody's interested in listening to that one, it was awful. It was genuinely awful. She lives in my head forever. Peking Lynn. Terrible. I remember actually having tears in my eyes when Becky was telling that story.
It was gross, wasn't it?
It was awful. It absolutely scared me shitless. Ruth, our lovely Ruth. Do you remember Ruth with Charlie, the real skeleton?
Oh, yeah. Hey, Ruth.
She said, Halloween decoration body under the bed. And that was Lisa Bean, season 2, episode 12. That was a good one as well. They were an awful couple, weren't they?
Yeah, they were horrendous.
Do you not remember that one, Bex?
No, I'm trying to get my script to come up because it keeps going black as my screen. So I'm really hoping that's not going to happen later. So it's putting me off.
Sorry.
It's really distracted. That and my 4-year-old keeps trying to come in, and I'm like, oh, go to bed.
She keeps peeking.
Yeah, but in a cute way. She's not like.
She's cute.
No. No, I think she's finally gone to bed now, which is good. Terrible mother that can't get her kids in bed.
John,
I had.
Oh, go on.
What was that, John? The demon's coming out too early, Emma.
Go on. What were you going to say?
That on the episodes that I was thinking of when I was trying to think for everything, the force snake and the esophagus episodes and the fact that on multiple episodes I called poltergeist.
Yes. Well, every time we talk about the poltergeist.
Yeah. And every time
I still can't say skeleton.
Yeah. Oh dear. So funny.
So that I actually did enjoy that Lisa Bean episode, Ruth as well, very much. John says, I love all your episodes. They all have something special. There's ones that stand out for different reasons. Force Snake, for instance. Never gonna live it down. And Peking Lynn. But others have made me cry due to the sheer injustice of what's happened, or the bravery of the lady that was attacked, had her throat slit and left for dead. I remember that one. That was terrible.
Oh, it was horrific as that. Yeah.
She survived and now lectures on it. If I remember right, she was seeing the sky as she couldn't get her head straight. So that was because her throat was cut so badly.
Her head just fell back and she had to pick it back up again. Hold her head up. Horrific. Poor love.
So he says, she's fucking awesome. They're all my favourite episodes and you're my favourite people. So that was John.
Thanks, John.
Thanks, John.
Mary says, love your podcast so much. And then we get a really touching one from Erin, which really kind of choked me up. She says, I want to thank you all. Your early episodes coincided with the beginning of a really hard journey. I had a lot of travel time, 7 hours one way every week from medical appointments with my daughter. Listening to you weekly had me laughing, crying, and laughing some more. Truly feel like you were my best friends during that time, even though we've never met. So fun to listen to. Such relatable, real people. Erin.
Oh, thanks, Erin. That's making me
Oh,
a little bit
no.
emotional. Bless you. Thank you. That's really
And-
sweet of you to say.
And I think Erin, she says she was like an OG. She was there from
Yeah.
the start. Oh,
I think about Erin every now and again. I remember when she told us about the long trips that she's having to take and that, bless her.
yeah. So that's everything I have. I mean, I've got some of my favorite moments, but did anybody tell you guys anything or?
Both my brother and sister reached out, and basically they both said that they really love it. Sebastian, my brother, is sad that we don't do the songs anymore, but
I got somebody else comment about that.
babe, I'm not gonna lie, there's only so many songs you can do because they all end up sort of being similar, don't they?
Yeah.
It's
There's only so
hard
many.
to make them finish.
And also, we've got to keep it fresh, guys. We can't always do the same things. One of my favorite episodes, for multiple reasons, is the Carl episode.
Carl Tanzler, he's
So
on my
I
list.
listened to it again because I didn't want to come in blind, essentially. And I have made some notes. When I say notes, I've got 5 bullet points.
Bullet points.
Carl Tanzler is what I've written. Apple eating. Sparkly poo. Gene of music.
Oh, God.
And being called a queen.
I think about Gene of music every now and again. I've told other people about Gene.
Yeah, I tell people about that too.
Can we remind everyone what Gene of music was all about?
So I think this was in the early days of Tinder with Tash, before it had a theme tune, I believe. And I was telling a story about a date that I went on with a guy, and we were in my car and he asked me what Gene of music I liked. And I was as confused about that as I was when Emma tried to say Forsynic. And yeah, just looked at him. It turns out he was trying to say genre of music. And he basically told me that I could only say that because I had grown up in France and could speak French, and that everyone he knew said Gene of music. And I'll be honest, that was the beginning of the end of our relationship.
He tried to mansplain away
in like 3 hours. Yeah.
Gene of music.
Yeah. And the apple was
Don't steal my apples.
yeah, a guy that had come around my house to watch a film. And
had some coffee.
And he went to use my downstairs bathroom and came back with an apple. And
you were outraged.
I was outraged. I still think about it. My children didn't have an apple that week.
That's my kid's lunch, mate. I remember that so well.
Yeah. So basically, my favourite parts of that episode are me. I am my favourite part.
All the funny bits, but actually the Carl Tanzler
episode. Such a great. And to be fair, we do reference it still quite a lot.
Yeah, I think we always will. I think there are a few that are always going to stick with us. Yeah. And Carl, Peking Lynn, and Carl.
Yeah.
And Jeff the Mongoose, who isn't with us anymore.
Jeff. My mum has just said she misses Tinder with Tash, which is that weird that you missed that, Mum? Is it weird you miss my hoe era? Are you asking me to be a hoe again, Mum?
Out of all the people to say that, I would not expect it to be your mum.
No, she loves a good story. That's what it is. She loves the gossip.
Here for the drama.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
What else have I got? Season 1, episode 5, Ghost Sex and Pixie Sticks. I think that was the first you joined us on.
And I was down for the ghost sex, wasn't I? I was like, oh yeah.
You were going to give it a go. You were like, come on.
Leave my window open, ready for my ghost to come in.
But do you remember the
Oh.
family? There was one story, and the family was like, "We're actually quite embarrassed because we can't get our daughter out of bed," and she was just spending all her time
Yeah.
getting ravished by
That
this
was good.
ghost. Oh, so funny. And the pixie stick story was tragic. There's
Yeah,
nothing-
really sad.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
It was horrible. I can't remember the funny bits in. Oh no, because it was amethyst lips. I haven't written that down. I can't remember which episode that was on.
That was quite early on, wasn't it?
It was one. I think it was like episode 8 or 9,
Yeah.
but we couldn't release it straight away. Did we end up releasing it?
Oh, it was episode 8, and the audio was terrible on it. It was absolutely awful. But we did release it in the end. But if you listen to episode 8, I think the audio is shockingly bad. Yeah, but that was a funny episode. But who were we talking about? With
I
the
think-
amethyst lips?
I think that I had said that I kind of found it a bit icky when men used
chapstick.
stick, and
It was the guy. It was a doctor, wasn't he? Yes, he was a doctor who had raped somebody, and he got caught because of his chapstick.
yeah. And I thought it was weird that he used chapstick.
He was the guy. Becky has no idea.
No,
what
it
I'm
was.
on
It
about.
was. No. I remember. It's just that what icked you out was the way that some guys, or most guys, put chapstick on when they go like that, and they go.
Yeah,
That's how they put chapstick on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do.
Oh, that was alive.
horrible.
They do that.
Yeah, but
Then
ironically,
it's going like that.
Ironically, somebody has commented recently on how I put Vaseline on. So I don't have one here to hand, but
What, putting
it-
it on where?
On her mouth.
what
I
Vaseline
imagine.
on my lips?
Why did you do that?
because it's a little pot, like it's like that size. But I haven't.
It's just like diapers.
I'm trying to say I haven't got
Vaseline.
one.
It looked like you were doing a bum.
Oh yeah,
hole.
the pot, the little tins.
Yeah,
You
so
went like
it's
that with your hand.
essentially-
I was like, what are you doing?
this isn't a Vaseline, but it's like this size.
Yeah.
And when I'm at work, because I work in the service industry and with food, I don't want to put my finger in it. So I just
Oh, did you just go?
put it on like that. And one of my work colleagues she was like, why are you doing that? But I
don't know how.
think better than getting my getting my finger and getting it all over my finger and going. So yeah, anyway. So just the irony that I was so icked out by somebody and turns out I'm icky too.
Well, you're
You
not.
icked
That's
them
that's a very strange way. I'm not going to lie, putting it on, but I can absolutely see the logic to it. I can
Yeah.
see the reason behind because you get it all under your fingernails.
Yeah.
And it's gross. It's minging. So yeah, no, I get it. I get it.
I don't do it like that at home. At home I do it like normally. But
You don't have to justify how you apply Vaseline, my darling.
well,
darling.
I think I do.
that guy
See,
with the
Rachel,
chapstick.
hold on. Rachel, thanks, babe. I knew you'd have my back. I do that too, but it's because I don't want it under my nails. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks, babe. Thanks.
The guy with the chapstick. Do you remember he had that mingy old like tube in his arm with somebody else's blood?
Oh,
it,
he
so-
was weird. Wasn't excuse me.
So when they were doing the blood tests, they weren't getting the right DNA, so they weren't
Mm.
catching him. Do you remember? That
Mhm.
was fucking weird. That was.
It's all
Don't know.
coming back. It's coming back to me now.
I feel like it's not for Becky. I feel like Becky's just there, like. Whoop, whoop.
No. Is that the one that we have to do twice? The DNA one. Wasn't that one?
I can't remember if we had to do it twice or not.
Yeah. Anyway.
I don't think
Um,
so because I remember being absolutely outraged when you said that, and I think the reaction on the recording is a genuine
Yeah, we couldn't have
What?
done that twice.
no.
No.
The
Then
Sally
again, we do
House.
forget everything that we do. Our
Yes,
Sally
this is
House
true.
must be mentioned.
The Sally House. I love
Yeah.
the Sally House. That was such a good story, such a creepy story. And the other the other. Oh my God! Speaking, the other series that I did, Fred, the Black Monk of Pontefract. That was a great one as well.
Yeah. Was that the one that was like 5 episodes long almost? Is that a really long one?
I think they were both pretty long. I think the Sally House might have
There
been
was 2 that were
5.
really long. Sally House
Yeah.
and I think the Black Monk of Pontefract.
Yeah,
Both
yeah,
super interesting.
yeah. So I love doing those.
One of
two.
yours. Sorry, go on.
No, I just said I love doing those two. I love researching them.
Yeah. One of yours that I really liked was that stuck with me for a long time was the time slips.
Oh, creepy stuff.
Yeah, but it's one of those ones that, you know, when you're like bored and you're driving or you're trying to get to sleep or something, that always used to pop into my head. And there's a few weird things that have happened, and I'm like, I wonder if that was something like that, and it's kind of would explain it away in a way.
Yeah.
But those were really interesting stories. I can't remember which season it was in. I did screenshot everything, but it's on my phone. I didn't close this page just in case for some reason it went open again.
But the title of the episode is Time Slips anyway, so you can find it.
Yeah.
I don't know why I've got a really husky voice. That's fucking typical, isn't it?
Sexy, I say. Hi, Ben. Ben Newman's watching as well.
Oh, who's he?
Some creep that's always watching.
Is he
Actually, I've got a vague memory of a Ben Newman dancing with a mop.
Oh yeah.
That's weird. Don't know where that's come from.
That's my husband, and yesterday we were like doing a little pre-recording chat, and my dog spilled loads of water behind me, so Ben was just behind me like mopping, doing a little sexy dance. So he was putting on a show.
It was very funny.
He did slut drop at one point.
And very sexy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I am a lucky girl. What was that face?
Oh, Tash? Yeah. Not that floor, you.
Sexy rubbing my knees. My knees look. Oh.
Great. And thank you, darling husband, for puppy sitting for me tonight.
Oh, he's a hero.
Oh, well done, Brian.
And the other one that I really enjoyed doing was the Herb Baumeister and the Haunting of Fox Hollow Farm. So it was it was the serial killer and then the haunting that happened afterwards. And it was so that was season 3, episode 16, for anybody who wants to check that out. And Becky started with the whole serial killer case, and then Flemmy. Sorry.
Oh dear, what a good day to do a live.
I know. And then I thought, look, people appreciate the realness, okay?
I mean, the phlegm. It's just the way you went, phlegmy.
Flemmy. No, because you can hear it and it's gross. It's icky.
Phlegm is gross.
It is. But it happens. Phlegm happens.
Oh dear.
Right, I'm done.
All you need
anyway.
is phlegm.
Bam, ba, 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 bam. I'm done. So
Okay.
if you want to move on to stories.
I really also liked the one that we laughed for about 5.5 minutes over a man called Mr. Pie.
Yes.
It was Mr. Car Pie.
No, Pie
wasn't it?
Car.
Yeah.
Pie
Yeah.
Car.
Pie Car.
And then we discussed what kind of pie and stuff. But I feel like we've grown
Typical.
since those early episodes because we used to mock names quite a lot and we have stopped doing that.
Yeah. Not
It
that,
wasn't
like,
mocking. It was like we had the giggles. I
It
didn't
was
mean anything. We didn't mean anything bad by it.
I was definitely
No, we
mocking
didn't.
that name.
we didn't mean anything bad. We never mean anything bad, but yeah. I think we just got the giggles and it was silly, but yes, it
Yeah.
was. You know, when you cry so much, you laugh so much, you're crying.
Yeah.
Got that snotty laugh, yeah.
Well, yeah. I don't get the snotty laugh. I just piss my pants. But yeah.
Becky's face was like, "Fucking hell, I'm not being old Flemmy and Pissy here."
It's all right. We've got a mop.
Who am I chosen to do a podcast with? This is...
Oh, God, so
All right,
hot.
Miss Perfect.
No, I'm only
Yeah.
joking. I'm only joking.
Yeah, my house is hot too.
It is hot. I might open the window actually. I'll be back in 2 minutes.
There's loads of aeroplanes going over my house.
I might turn the big light on actually while we're all having a little interlude.
It's all coming back. It's coming back to river.
I'm just going to shut the blinds as well so I don't get eaten by. So no one, I don't turn and there's a face.
I've opened the window. Watch me get a fucking bat or something flying the room now. That would be terrifying.
Red sky though, might be nice tomorrow. Red sky at night.
Shepherd's
Shepherd's
delight.
delight.
I'm so glad that you both pulled the face that I was like, Shepherd's delight.
Oh dear.
God. Said that she is partial to the Villisca. Is that how we say that?
Villisca, I think. Villisca.
Axe murder episode. It was her first hometown.
Oh, is that Carabeth?
Yeah.
Yes, it was a good one. And a mystery, if I recall correct. Mystery.
It's all coming back.
Have you girls got anything else to add before we move on?
Also, we can't forget the episodes that Tom did.
Oh,
Australian
yeah.
Tom.
I do love a good Australian Tom.
When he stood in for me when I was poorly.
Oh, when you had mono.
Yeah, I had glandular fever, didn't I? I can't actually remember any of those episodes. But thank you, Tom, for stepping in.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming and being awesome and making everybody like you and then never coming back.
Yeah.
Thank you for being too busy and important to come back. No, he's a love. I'm only messing. Or
That is
am
shit.
I?
We miss you, Tom. Come back. Come back. Come back. Baby, come back. I feel like we don't sing as much on the podcast either.
I don't know. I feel like you're singing quite a lot tonight.
I am so sorry.
You don't have to apologise.
People love it.
Do they?
Imagine
like
if... No, but there could be a talent scout on here.
Oh, God. I wouldn't. No, Tash. I'm
And what he
afraid.
could think is, do you know what? Maybe podcasting isn't for them, but that girl sure can sing.
I'm gonna sign up. Get Simon Cowell on the phone.
It will be like when, you know, when on X Factor they go on as like a trio, and X Factor's like, and they're like,
Oh,
you two are shit,
but we'll have
but
you.
do you want to come back? And the friend's like, I could never leave them. Bye, bitches.
I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say we'd make a good girl band, but obviously not.
No.
Just you.
No, really, you should have just not. You should have refused to abandon us, like Charlotte and Jonathan. They stuck together.
Who's Charlotte and Jonathan?
Remember that one? Yeah, he came on. You don't remember that? It's stuck in my head.
No, I clearly don't remember them.
Yeah, he came on and they were like opera singers, and he was like, looks really shy. Then Simon Cowell's like, oh, here we go, like judging a book by its cover.
I do remember.
This is why The Voice became a thing. And then he was like, no, and like singing this like really good opera song. And actually, he was a lot better than her. And Simon was like, actually, I want you and not her.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, I'm gonna keep her. And they like
Silly
carried on
Billy.
together. So they went through together.
This is a great thing about lives, because when we do a live, people can actually see how much we just natter
How
on about
quick-
shit.
Yeah.
And,
Has this
and
even
then-
happened?
and then they can think, oh my God, Emma, the editing
Yeah.
is like spot on. Because
Yeah,
this is the type of shite that will get.
And this is
edited out.
nothing. We do it every 5 seconds.
Yeah. We've actually been really restrained so far.
So far, so good. We've still got time. I mean, we're 45 minutes in and we haven't actually said a story yet. So,
No,
but fuck it. It's the 100th, right?
100, baby.
Don't hesitate to chat to us. Sorry.
Darcy said that she enjoys my singing. Thanks, babes.
Oh, see, there's one. There's one
My
out there.
sister.
Yeah. Well,
Does it count? Or have I bullied her into saying that?
maybe.
Yeah.
She's just like frightened. I'm so scared.
The sister be coming back.
Who's starting?
You, I think.
Yes.
I
Was
really
it
hope
Dirty?
it's you because my computer's still not working very well.
Was it Dirty
Can't
John?
get it
The
together.
last one.
Sorry.
Dirty
Yeah.
John.
Mhm. Dirty John.
How are we doing in the chat, Tash? We all right?
Yeah. Darcy said she does count. And do you know what, Darcy? I think you do. So I'm going to carry on singing. Just for you.
Are you ready? I've got a crazy story. I thought this was really good for the 100th because it is wild.
Buckle in.
Mental. Yeah, buckle in.
That was cringy.
Oh, I did
I
it
I
too.
was cringe about that. Did you do it as well?
Yeah.
I'm glad you
Right.
did. Thank you.
I actually enjoyed Becky's buckle in. I believed her buckling in a lot more. She actually took the time to put the clicker in and made the noise.
Oh, well, good for her. Anyway, Ruth said she enjoyed. I enjoyed Tash singing the actual lyrics to each spooky song. Thank you, Ruth. Thank you.
Yeah, but you've
do-
done it before.
Yeah, oh, thanks, babe. I do like to do this thing though when I sometimes drink wine alone. I am okay, but like sometimes I just do that, okay? And I like to play a silent karaoke game. So I mute my Instagram stories and I'm singing along to a song, and then my followers there's not that many, I'm making up, there's loads, then have to guess what song I'm singing. I don't know what I'm going on about.
Oh, my followers. I don't have any. Oh, yes, I do.
I sound like a twat. Right, anyway, go on, Emma, over to you.
Okay. So this week for our 100th episode, we are going
100,
to talk
baby.
about, it's actually a lesser known case, and I don't know why, because it's frigging awesome. We're going to talk
Not
about
after today's show.
No, going to be out there for the world to know. The Watsika Wonder. I probably should have looked up how to pronounce that. But it's
How are
the
you
Watsika
writing
Wonder,
that?
and I'm sticking with it.
Okay.
Watseka. Watsika.
What?
Watsika? No, it's Watsika.
Do you know what? Stick to it, commit to it.
I'm committed. I'm confident it's Watsika. So this
Nobody
is a
comment
story.
if it's not.
Just shut up now, all right? Right. This is a story of... Are you messaging somebody?
The group.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. It's allowed. Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought.
No, I'm not. I'm joking.
Are you on Tinder? Are you swiping?
No. No, I'm not.
This is a
Just
story.
doing what
of
our
two-
mum told us to.
Yeah, it's for my mum. She wants it. Blame her.
Mhm.
Sorry.
Oh.
No, come on now. This is serious.
Emmy.
Hi, Robin.
Hiya.
Hello. This is a story of two young ladies who had never met, but were going to be linked together in the most astonishing way. This story is considered the first recorded case of possession in the United States. So we'll start of America. We'll start with Mary Roth, born on the 8th of October, 1846, to parents Asa and Anne. Mary was a sickly child and started having fits at just 6 months old. To begin with, they were few and far between, but as she got older, they became more and more violent and more frequent. By the age of 10, she would be having at least one every day. I know, awful. After a fit, she would become depressed and would sing or play very sad songs for long periods of time. Her favourite being "We Are Coming, Sister Mary," which, do you want to sing that for us, Tash? You know, that banger from the 1800s. Go on. It really slaps.
I can't wet myself. I don't know it. I'm sorry.
Back then, when there was new song out, do you think they'd be like, "Oh, did you hear the town crier going around singing this new song?" And they were like, "Yeah, that shit's lit." And they're just going around singing all this new songs with the new release. Maybe not.
They would have had like the 1800s jargon, wouldn't they?
Who knows? I wasn't there.
I don't know, darling. I wasn't there either.
Oh dear, it's really hot in here.
My jaw hurts.
You all right, Papa? Too much. Sorry, too much. Come on.
She had right. Just tell me when you're done. Tell me when it's done.
This is what she gets like. Look at her telling us off like children.
Look at Becky.
Oh,
what's it say?
Big mug.
That's too big. That can't be enjoyable, that tea.
You know that the first time that's exactly what you said the first time you saw me with this mug. I got it. We hadn't even started podcasting yet, and I went like that, and I drank it, and I saw you go, look up from your phone, you went, and you were visibly disgusted by the size of my mug. And you were like, you can't enjoy that.
Look, I'm consistent.
It doesn't mean I can't enjoy it. There's enough in there.
Sorry.
You two bags in it.
Oh, Emma, I'm sorry. Sorry.
It's all right. You just let me know when you want the story.
I actually really need the toilet as well, so let's just get on with this.
I thought you were going to ask for a pee break. Hold this on for so long. Just go for a wee.
Oh, is that all right?
Yeah.
Right, everyone, I'm going for a wee, so now's your time for a wee break. I'm going to mute it.
In case you do a little
better.
pee-pee fart.
Little pop-pop. Don't do it there. Oh, look, everyone's going to see her pajamas.
Oh, yeah.
Camera. Oh, slow it a little bit. Let's see when she goes out the door. Woo! There we are.
I love how professional and organised we are.
So quiet.
I wonder what the 18th century jargon. No, it wasn't. What? Hang on, I get very confused. 1800s would have been the 19th. Is it one before or one after? I never know.
In the 1800s, it would have been 17 something.
The 17th century. Okay, so it's the 19th.
I'm instantly doubting myself. That was such a quick read.
There's no way.
Was that?
She just
There's
needed
no
a
way.
fart.
She just needed
a fart.
no. She just needed to pull her knickers out her ass or something like that. Something needed adjusting. I'm gonna ask her. Did you hear that?
17th
What's she laughing
century.
at?
Okay.
Laughing at us.
Yeah.
Tash.
Hi. I
Tash.
Yeah.
Did you pull your knickers out your bum? Because there's no way that you just went for a wee in the small amount of time that you were away.
Yeah, my toilet's like 30 seconds away.
Yeah, but that was such a long wee.
A long wee?
Yeah. No, a short wee.
I only do little wees, but Rachel said thank you. She also needed a wee. Cara Beth said, I have mugs bigger than that, and you get used to it. Emma
Yeah.
Robin said, a pee-pee fart. Crying face. Erin, late to the party because
We
of
haven't
work.
grown
But
past 12.
I know, we're still 12. Late to the party because of work, but hi, that's from Erin. Darcy said 1700.
Yeah, I was trying to work out. I'm having a brain fart because my story is happening in the 1800s. Is that the 19th century?
What?
Add one for the century. So we're the 21st century. So it's the 19th century. So I don't know what cool language there would have been in the 19th century. That was what I was going
I
with
just
that.
don't understand right now.
Okay,
Robin said, Tash, we heard it out. That was a booming loud. Do you know what? People fart and people wee. And I only weed. I didn't fart. But I've heard your blow us, Robin, actually. And they're quite big. Cara Beth, add one for the century. We are currently in the 21st century.
Yeah, so if I'm
Who
talking
made
like
that up, though?
I know it makes I don't know. I don't know. But that's where I was having a little bit of a issue. Why am I so husky croaky?
Sexy.
Oh, the okay.
Is it because it's like you turn one after? Is that why the century is like that?
Maybe.
Anyway, that's too deep.
Let's just move on.
Let's move on.
Let's just get on. Let's just do stuff.
Right.
Left.
Let's go.
So her favourite song being We Are Coming, Sister Mary, that Tash does not know.
I don't know it.
She had been followed at this point by multiple doctors during her life, all who had tried to help her as best they could, and yet the fits continued. By 15, she was chronically depressed and had started cutting herself to relieve the head pain she had to endure. She said it took away. Hang on, my dog's chewing my chair.
Oh.
Don't do that.
Oh,
Don't. Stop it. So did you just burp, Becky?
I just went because I've read a sentence that I've written that it's like it just doesn't make sense at all. So it just made me laugh.
So she started cutting herself to relieve the head pain. She said it took away the pressure. Then they started using leeches to see if that could give her some relief, and it did.
Horrible.
She even began using them herself and keeping them as little pets.
Oh.
Which is
weird.
I don't know, because I think that's the kind of thing I'd do. I don't know.
I don't know either, but Cara Beth, I'm still lost.
Why?
Sorry, I'm just circling back round to the century thing. The first century started with 1 AD and ended with 900 AD. The second century started with 1000 AD. I'm lost, babe. Thank you for trying, Cara Beth, but I'm out. Oh.
He's chewing a chair. Look. This is him pretending he's not chewing my chair.
I'm just smelling it.
Right. So she kept the leeches as little pets.
Yeah, that's weird.
On July 16th, 1864, she snuck
What
a
was she
knife
feeding them
herself.
all the time?
Probably. If she's like so ill that she's cutting herself to relieve the pressure, I imagine she's just like, here, it's tea time. Come and have some.
Oh, that's weird.
Well, it's the kind of shit they used to do all the time.
Yeah, it's
isn't it?
true. Yeah.
On July 16th, 1864, she snuck a knife into the garden and cut her arm so badly that she fainted. She remained unconscious for 5 hours, and when she came to, she was completely manic. She was ranting and raving as if she had totally lost her mind. It took 5 men to keep her in her bedroom, even though she only weighed 100 pounds. Tash.
I'm sorry. I'm so inappropriate.
Have you got the giggles?
Yeah.
So even though she only weighed 100 pounds and had lost a lot of blood, this is not a sexy situation. She stayed in this state of pure insanity for 5 days until she became herself again. Only sadly, she had lost her sight and hearing and
Bloody hell.
didn't recognize anyone in her household. Despite all of that, Mary could function completely normally. She could read.
How could she read if she lost her sight? I'm sorry. I'm sorry I've got the giggles. Also, that's really contradictory.
No, yeah,
She lost her sight, but she could still read.
Yeah,
Could she know?
Bear in mind, this is one of my spooky stories, right? So she could function completely normally. She could read. She would get herself dressed and ready by looking in the mirror. All of this totally blind. This amazing occurrence was, of course, investigated, and Mary could indeed do everything a person with sight and hearing could whilst wearing a heavy blindfold. So basically, just to double check that she was in fact blind, they put a massive blindfold on her. She took one of the doctor's encyclopedias and looked up the word blood and proceeded to turn to the right page and read aloud the definition inside. Another time, the doctors gave her her box of letters from her friends to read, and she did without hesitation. They then mixed in a few of their own letters, and she knew instantly which ones they were and did not read them. They would turn the letters backwards or upside down, and she always turned them in the correct way before reading. It was truly incredible. Another very eerie consequence of Mary's condition was that she appeared to be able to talk to spirits. She would have entire conversations with people that weren't there. She would speak both parts of the discussion with her voice changing between the spirits and her own. Her parents were advised to send her to the insane asylum, but soon after that idea was put forward, on the 5th of July, 1845, Mary had a massive fit and sadly died.
That's sad.
It is. I'm just catching up with the chat. I don't know where the leeches went. Maybe on her temples. I don't know if you're releasing head pressure. Maybe on your temples.
I think it's around the temples. I'm assuming.
Who the fuck has a pet
Leeches
leech?
freak me out.
I don't know who's. I can't see who's saying anything.
Okay. Do you want me to read it?
Well, who the fuck has a pet leech? I'm not.
That was from Ruth. She wrote that.
I could have a jar of leeches.
Yeah, you would.
Don't. But I could do. It's something I could do.
Erin was the one who asked where they went. Cara Beth said she couldn't explain the whole Sentry thing any better than that. And I basically said, it's me. I'm the issue, not you. Your explanation was great.
Oh, somebody wrote barrel and then they went Bry.
Yeah. Wow. Ironically, that was Cara Beth. So,
Oh.
yeah.
No. I don't know if I don't know if Bri was a thing back then, but no, she wasn't using Bri.
Erin said, so she can clearly see. I agree with you, Erin, but she is dead now, so sad for her. Erin, this is what I needed from the beginning. The ability to actually talk to you instead of out loud to myself whilst listening. Oh,
maybe we should just do this every week and just like stop publishing all the edited episodes. It'd be so much easier.
And then can you just leave these for people to look at?
Yeah, but I don't know how interesting people will find our goofiness. Okay, so poor Mary has died. Now on to the second girl in our story, Lurancy Venom. And that is a name. That is a name.
Go on, girl.
That is a Batman baddie.
Yeah.
That's, like the villain of Batman. A bit like Poison Ivy. That's what I'm kind of thinking of, mixed with a bit of Catwoman. Yeah. Very nice.
In 1871, Thomas and Lorinda Venom moved to Watseka in Illinois with their daughter, Lurancy. The bizarre events of this story begin in 1877. One morning, Lurancy announced to her parents that she had been visited by people in her bedroom the night before. She described how they were calling Rancy, Rancy, which was her nickname. And they were so close she could feel their breath on her face. The next night, she left her room scared, saying that it was happening again, and so she slept with her mother and was finally able to find sleep. On the 11th of July, a few days later, she lay down on the carpet she had been making and said that she felt very, very unwell. She seemed to grab her chest before having some sort of seizure. She lost consciousness and every muscle became rigid. She stayed unconscious in this position for 5 hours.
Wow.
Before coming to. She rested for the remainder of the day, saying how very strange she felt. The next day, the same thing happened. She laid rigid on the floor, only this time she was able to speak, as if in some kind of a trance. She described to her parents everything she could see. She could see spirits, telling her parents each name of the spirits. And then she shouted, "Oh, mother, can't you see Laura and Bertie?" And those were two of her siblings that had died when Lurancy was little.
That's wild.
These strange trances continued for months, but then stopped as abruptly as they had started around September, where she seemed to be back to normal, much to her parents' relief. But it wouldn't last. In November, Lurancy began having stomach cramps so bad that she would scream out and bend herself backwards in a crab sort of position where her head would be close to her feet.
What's with the bending?
But
I don't feel like that's going to stop you from having a stomach ache.
Well, it's not a nice position. That's a creepy position.
Yeah, it is.
It's like a horror position where they start.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Scuttling.
Scurrying.
This happened 5 or 6 times a day to poor Lurancy, and her parents were at a total loss on how to help their beloved daughter. In December, she began having the same trances as before, only with the added excruciatingly painful stomach cramps as well. So imagine the horror scene. Your daughter flings herself backwards in such an unnatural position before beginning to describe spirits and angels to you. Terrifying.
Yeah, weird.
Horrid.
Lurancy would sometimes almost show signs of ecstasy, saying that she was in heaven and described how wonderful it was. She would have these strange attacks up to 8 times a day. Sometimes they could last up to 8 hours.
Wow.
She had, of course, been followed by doctors throughout all of this, and they now seemed defeated and advised that Loranci should be sent to an asylum. Friends and relatives of the family all agreed, and a letter was sent to see if the asylum had room for her. Now, I'm sure you can imagine that the asylum in the late 1800s was not exactly a nice place for a young girl to be sent to. And so her parents, and rightly so, were reluctant, but their social circle was putting more and more pressure on them to send her away. Luckily for Loranci, however, this story happened during the Victorian spiritualist obsession, where people began looking away from standard religion and opening their minds to the possibilities of communication with the dead and the occult. And so, as the rumors about the Venom family spread through Watsika, Loranci's ordeal was brought to the attention of a spiritualist named Asa Roth. He and his wife were spiritualists and wondered if Loranci was being visited by the dead and not just insane. Asa asked if he could meet with Loranci's father, and after a lengthy discussion, he managed to convince Thomas Venom to let his friend, Dr. E.W. Stevens, to examine her. He would be more open-minded about... Why have they gone really posh? He would be more open-minded about...
Oh my gosh.
It's all these posh names, and because it's like the 1800s, I'm just getting more and more like Bridgerton, which doesn't make any sense because it's in America. He would be more open-minded. I'm still doing it. He would be more open-minded. I'm still doing it. Can you not
open-minded? Maybe.
Open-minded. I'm just gonna have to be.
So you meant to say it though.
He would be more open-minded.
He'd be more open-minded.
Yeah.
That's not how.
So basically, Dr. Stevens is going to look into the spiritualist side of things as well as the medical side of things. He's going to be more open. You're right, Tash.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can just hear something, and I don't know if it's my kids. It's fine. Carry on. I'll just message her.
Asa Roth and Dr. Stevens arrived at the Venom's home on the 31st of January, 1878, to examine poor Loranci, who was still experiencing these painful attacks. Yeah, experiencing these painful attacks. When they arrived, the young girl was sat in a chair by the stove, all huddled like an old woman. She spoke with a voice that was not her own and called her father Old Black Dick, and her mother, Old Granny. Hardly endearing nickname.
That's a weird thing to call your dad. All right, Dad.
But she's like obviously possessed at this point by a spirit that's not her. And the spirit is calling her father Old Black Dick. So she's like all huddled like a little old crone, little old crone going, "Oh, Black Dick."
Oh dear. Oh no. Oh dear.
So hardly endearing nicknames. When asked who she was, she answered that her name was Katrina Hogan and that she was 63 years old, that she was from Germany and had died 3 days ago, and that she would stay with Loranci for 3 weeks. She only wanted to speak to the doctor, however, and refused to answer anyone else's questions. When the doctor had finished his questioning, the spirit confessed that she'd been lying, that she was in fact a man called Willie Canning, a runaway that had met an unfortunate fate. I just want to applaud us both for not laughing at Willie.
Yeah. I can keep some in.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I think it's when Tash is.
I enjoyed the posh voice. I'm still kind of smiling from there.
So when the doctor had finished his questioning, the spirit confessed that she had been lying, that she was in fact a man called Willie Canning, a runaway that had met an unfortunate fate. And then Willie, or Loranci, whichever, one you...
I think you should definitely call him Willie.
It's Laurency's body, apparently possessed by Willie.
I know the feeling.
So they began their own line of questioning, throwing out a relentless amount at the poor doctor, who politely replied to each. What is your name? Where are you from? Are you married? How many children do you have? How many boys? How many girls? What kind of doctor are you? Have you ever been to the South Pole, to the North Pole, to Egypt, to Europe, to the Sandwich Islands, to Australia, etc., etc., showing quite a substantial knowledge of geography that Laurency did not have. Do you lie, get drunk, smoke tobacco, drink coffee or tea? Do you go to church? Do you pray to God? Do you swear? Once she'd finished with her line of questioning, she asked that the doctor asked the same to Mr. Roth and Mr. Venom, who were present as well at the time, as she refused to ask them herself. I'm saying herself, but she's still possessed by Willie.
Oh, sorry, I've just joined.
Laurency's possessed by Willie.
Nice. Well done. Welcome, Willie, to the story.
Welcome, Willie. Welcome.
You're always
Best Willie is a welcome, Willie.
The conversation came to an end and the two gentlemen got up to leave. Just as they did so, Laurency threw her arms up in the air and became rigid. As she spoke, it was so obvious that she was herself again. She was gentle and polite and apologized for the rudeness of Katrina, also known as Willie. She said how she disliked him and how she wished...
Oh. Sorry. He didn't like Willie either.
Don't let this... That's Bear.
Oh, Bear. There was a big plane going over by my house. Sorry if you can hear that.
Oh, yeah, I can.
I can hear a low drone.
Yeah. It's not a very fast one. Sorry about that.
She said how she disliked him and how she wished if she had to be taken over, that it could be by a kinder spirit. The doctor told her to look around her and see if there were any nicer spirits that would be willing to possess her instead. If she must be possessed at all.
The lesser of two evils.
She said there were many and started saying some names. Some the gentlemen actually recognised as being people that had died in the town. Some they didn't know. However, one name astounded them. Laurency said that the angels wanted a girl called Mary Roth to come forward and that Mary would like that too. Asa Roth exclaimed, "That's my daughter. She's been dead for 12 years. Yes, bring her forward. She is very sweet and kind, and that she would help Laurency as much as she could, as Mary herself had suffered from similar attacks when she was alive." And so it was decided that Mary would become Laurency, whilst Laurency's spirit went up to heaven to be healed of her afflictions. Once this deal had been made, Dr. Stevens and Mr. Roth left the Venom's house. Is everybody... Oh, your dog set off my dogs. I'm so sorry. Whoever that was.
Carabeth.
Sorry, Carabeth. He's here. Look. He's like, "Mommy, what you doing?" Can you see him? No, it's a bit dark, isn't it?
It's a bit blurry. We can see him moving.
He's sniffing the microphone.
No.
Oh.
Tell me on the chat and tell Tash and you girls tell me, is everybody understanding what's happening?
Yeah. Well, I did miss a bit, but yeah.
Okay. The following morning, Mr. Venom turned up at Mr. Roth's office, saying his daughter was now claiming to be Mary Roth and that she was terribly homesick and wanted to come home. A few weeks went by and Laurency was still saying that she was Mary Roth. She would cry and plead to go home, even though the Venoms assured her that she was home. But Laurency was miserable. The news about the young girl's state of mind got back to the Roths, and Mrs. Roth and her other daughter, Minerva Alter, Mary's sister, decided to go and pay Laurencie a visit. When she saw the two women approaching the house, she shouted, "It's Ma and Nervy," a nickname that only Mary had used with her sister. When they came inside, Laurencie threw herself at them, hugging them tightly and crying with happiness. After this meeting, Laurencie became even more despondent and desperately homesick. Eventually, friends of the family managed to convince the Venoms to send the girl to stay with the Roffs.
That's wild.
They agreed, but they were understandably reluctant.
Yeah,
After
I'd be reluctant.
Yeah.
After all, the strange fits and visits to heaven were still happening almost daily, and Mrs. Venom was absolutely exhausted and almost bedridden from caring for the girl. She felt it would be a huge imposition asking Mrs. Roff to do the same, especially as she had already been through it all with her own daughter, Mary. Okay, the guys in the chat are still with us. We're good.
Yeah, everyone's following.
Mr. and Mrs. Roff agreed to this arrangement as they felt so sorry for Laurencie, even though they hardly knew her at all. If they could help her feel better, then they would. And so, on February 11th, 1878, Laurencie was sent to stay with the Roffs. She immediately started calling them Ma and Pa, and recognized every other member of the family, greeting them all with enthusiasm. When she asked how long she would stay, she replied that the angel said she could remain with them for 3 months and 10 days, which would be in May. Whilst at the Roffs, Laurencie spoke and acted exactly like Mary had done. She spoke of events that had happened when she was alive. She recognized all the family's friends and relatives and greeted them as if being reunited after a long time. However, she did not know any of the Venom's friends that she crossed in the street or who came to visit her.
That is weird.
Once she saw an old friend of hers, Mary Lord, who was now married and called Mrs. Wagner. Of course, she had no knowledge of this marriage and called out to her friend, calling her Mary Lord, her maiden name. Another time she was playing outside, Mr. Roff asked his wife to find a velvet headdress that Mary had worn before her death and just to place it in view without saying anything. Sure enough, as soon as Laurencie saw the hat, she got excited and said, "Oh, Ma, this is a headdress I used to wear when my hair was short. Why did you not show it to me sooner?" She also spoke of when the family had moved to Watsika from Texas. She recalled crossing the Red River, seeing many Indians and the family that had traveled with them. The family were, in fact, one of the first ones to build a house in town.
Sorry, how old is the is it Lorenza?
Laurencie.
Laurencie.
I'm not sure because I'm going off a very old document and it didn't actually say how old she was. All I know is that they're still living with their parents, so I'm imagining, in my head she's about 12, 13.
I was going to say she was playing outside, so
yeah. Mary, she's been dead for 12 years. But again,
her friend was married, so maybe she her friend would have been like early 20s.
Didn't I say 15? I'm pretty sure earlier in the story she died when she was 15.
Okay.
But they're young girls. So you have to remember that all this happened long, long before Laurencie was born.
Yeah.
The families did not know each other well to say hello to whilst passing in the street, but absolutely not enough to have such personal knowledge. There's no explanation for Laurencie to have such an extensive knowledge of Mary Roff, who had died some 12 years previously. By all accounts, during Laurencie's time at the Roffs, she was Mary. She acted like Mary, loved the same people that Mary loved. The Roffs felt like they had their daughter back. Laurencie,
that's sad.
It is and it isn't. Laurencie knew hang on. Laurentia knew nothing about her own family. I thought I'd put that on silent. Laurentia knew nothing about her own family, did not show any particular affection to her parents when they visited. Everything about her, except her physical appearance, was Mary Roth. It does have to be mentioned that the people of Watsika were not all accepting of this extremely bizarre situation.
Oh, I can imagine.
Well, yeah, it's weird. People said that both families involved were freaks. Others said that the Venoms would regret their choice and that Laurentia would return to them even worse and that they would regret not having put her in an asylum. One man said he would prefer to see his child die than to send them to the Roths to become a spiritualist.
Oh, God.
So, as well as going through a very emotionally taxing time, the families also had to endure the loud whispers of the town. As time passed, the Roths noticed Mary, or Laurentia, so it's difficult because they're like the same person. So they noticed that Mary, or Laurentia, was becoming more and more affectionate with them. When they asked her why she was always hugging and kissing them, she replied that she would soon have to go back to heaven, as Laurentia was nearly better, and that she wanted to love them as much as she could while she still had arms to hold them.
Oh,
and lips,
bless her.
I know, and lips to kiss them. She said that even though she will visit with them often when she is in spirit, they will not be able to see her or know that she is around. If people needed more proof of the possibility of possession, this next event is truly astonishing. The Roths were all sat in the parlour with Mary, Laurentia, same person. They were entertaining some old friends, and some of Laurentia's doctors were there too, as they had now become good friends with Laurentia/Mary. Mary then left Laurentia's body, leaving it seemingly empty as her head drooped onto the doctor she was sat next to's shoulder. Mary then hopped into his body and began speaking through him to everyone else's absolute shock. So Mary has hopped out of Laurentia. Laurentia's kind of just slooped down, and she's hopped into the doctor that she was sat next to and begun speaking. She looked at Laurentia's empty body and laughed at how silly it looked, before jumping back inside and letting the doctor regain his own body. But she hadn't quite finished yet. She asked the maid, Charlotte, to accompany her out of the room, and when she returned, she was dressed like an old lady and walked with a cane. In fact, you could barely see any resemblance now with a young girl. She announced that she was Charlotte's grandma and that she would dearly love to do some knitting. Neither Laurentia nor Mary knew how to knit. And she stayed sat in a chair, knitting away, talking about her life in service, just like her granddaughter, proving her knowledge of sewing and looking after a house. She spoke of Charlotte's family too, by name, and Charlotte confirmed everything she said to be true. Mary then took over control of Laurentia once more and began telling Dr. Stevens how her now beloved friend, that she had met his daughter in heaven. She told him her name, her age, what she had died of, all correct, of course. And then she said she had joined his daughter to visit his house and went on to describe each room to him. Again, neither Laurentia nor Mary had ever visited Dr. Stevens' house. And it was not...
how overwhelming, and would that be weird to hear? Just like someone coming out with all of that.
There's no way you can react. You can't react. You'd just be like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And it was not a well-known thing that his eldest daughter had passed away many years before Mary had. It was truly an exceptional afternoon, described by all present as being at the gates of heaven. May arrived, and Mary announced that soon Lorancy would return to her body and that Mary would have to go back to heaven. She sobbed at the idea of having to say goodbye to her friends and family and insisted that everyone should be gathered so she could say her farewells. It was a very emotional time for her friends and family, but Mary reassured them that once in heaven she would be happy again. She spoke of how Lorancy was now completely healed, both body and soul, and indeed, as Lorancy took possession of her own body again, she never had any fits ever again.
Wow.
When she arrived, she looked around, asking her. She looked around her, asking where she was, saying she did not recognize the house and that she wanted to go home. Mr. Roth returned Lorancy to her father, where the Venoms were reunited with a healthy Lorancy. She had very little memory of what had occurred. She said it felt like a dream, although she knew it was not. The Venoms said their daughter was completely back to normal. Both families felt a huge sense of privilege about what they had been a part of, a glimpse at the heavenly powers of a higher being. They had all witnessed so many miracles that any other explanation was simply out of the question. The two families stayed close, and occasionally Mary would pop back into Lorancy to visit with her family, but never for very long. Lorancy Venom went on to lead a long and healthy life. She got married and had 11 children. And so the Watsika case comes to a close. But what an uplifting story of hope it gave me researching it. There is something completely pure about these occurrences, and I really hope that all I have told you is true. My source for this case was a short book written by Dr. E. Stevens himself called The Watsika Wonder, written in 1887. And there you go.
Crazy.
Wow.
What a story.
That was mental, wasn't it?
Yeah, well done. Thank you.
Yeah. Was
what
it
I
that? I don't know. It was just like a bit. Was that like quite emotional when you were like reading it all and like I don't know, just like thinking about all those someone coming up to you and telling you something like that. I don't know. Like right at the end, like all those things that about his house and these things that this person would never know.
Yeah.
I'm not explaining myself properly, but
I understand what you're saying, but that's the whole thing. These families didn't know each other, and they didn't have any knowledge of the doctor's daughter being dead. It's things, if it's true, because again, I'm basing myself on what was written by the doctor. If it's all true, then I've got no explanation for it. None. Apart from
mental.
Apart from heaven's real.
It happened.
And there are angels and yeah, it happened. So what do you guys all think? What did you think?
But it's nice to think that if, we have a lot of stories about bad things and like ghosts and the devil and whatever. But not really the devil, yeah. But it'd be nice. It's nice to think that angels also exist. That'd be nice. It's not all bad.
Yeah.
Unless they look like angels, like that photo that we sent each other once of what angels look like as described back in like the Bible. It's like all
in the Bible. Yeah, they're weird.
Terrible.
Yeah.
I hope not.
Anyway, do you want to go on to some murder?
Murder. It's weird because mine's an old one as well.
Well, we do tend to be in sync.
Yeah. In sync. Yeah.
Sorry, Erin just put. I don't know how it went from being creepy to cute. Quite often, she's not wrong. Quite often, it does. Like the stories we tell, I say that we.
The royal
we collectively,
the royal we,
are actually quite like. I know we laugh and we joke and we have a really good time, but they do evoke a lot of different emotions throughout the stories.
Yeah. That was emotional because, like, when she was saying, "Oh, I want to hug you while I still have my arms to do
Oh,
it,"
that
and
made me
stuff.
feel very teary.
Yeah, I was like, oh. Yeah.
Hang on, just got an
Yeah,
important
I kind of
message
went
through.
from being like that, like
Yeah,
kind of
to like,
freaked out, to
oh,
be like, oh, it's so lovely.
so
And
lovely.
how sad would it be? I mean, how special would it be to have that extra time with a loved one?
After so many years as well.
Yeah, but then having to say goodbye again. But I guess at least you knew it was coming.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, there you go.
Thank you, Emma. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
You're welcome. Welcome.
Are we Welsh again?
Who knows what we are? Weird. That's what we are. Goofy.
Shall we roll on down straight into my story? Or does anyone need a wee?
No, I'm good.
I don't need a wee.
Okay. Right. So I hope my screen doesn't go black like it's just done about 7 times, but I'm sure we'll get through it. I'm sure
We'll power through. We'll power through.
Yeah. So for our 100th episode, I wanted to do a case. It's a little bit more well known, even though I didn't know about it. Let's put my microphone to where it needs to be. I wanted to do a double jeopardy case.
Oh yeah.
So double jeopardy. There's not loads of these, thank God, but there's quite a few really interesting ones. And I hadn't really heard of this one, but it's one of like the earliest well-known double jeopardy cases. So just a quick recap. Double jeopardy is a legal concept that protects individuals from being twice. Oh, so they say. It's already started. That protects individuals from being tried twice for the same crime. It's so that the police can't just like keep trying you again and again and again, and they'll just harass you until they eventually get a guilty verdict. So it's done on purpose so that it protects you from that. So there's quite a few like key aspects of the law. The first one is protection against multiple trials, which is what I've just said. The scope of double jeopardy generally applies to the retrials after an acquittal. So if a person is acquitted, the prosecution cannot appeal the acquittal or try the person again for the same crime.
So hold on, sorry. So if someone was tried for murder and then they got found not guilty, but then new evidence came in that pinned them to the crime, could they not be tried for it?
Depends on the country.
Right.
There are several exceptions and nuances to like double jeopardy. Separate sovereignties, like sovereign, like the state and federal governments in the US, can prosecute the same act without violating double jeopardy.
Right.
As well, if something ends in a mistrial, if a trial ends in a mistrial due to hung jury or other problems, a defendant can be retried. Appeals by the defendant, if a conviction is overturned on appeal by the defendant, a retrial is permitted.
So there's loopholes.
Yeah, and then many countries have their own version of this law, like in the United Kingdom. Double jeopardy was reformed in the early 2000s to allow retrials for serious crime when new evidence comes into play.
Right. Yeah.
Like DNA.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
That makes sense. I assumed that was an everywhere thing, but it doesn't look like the whole of America do that. It depends on the state. So the principle of it is designed to ensure fairness in the legal system. And like I mentioned earlier, just to prevent harassment of individuals through repeated prosecutions. So there we are. That's just and it's existed for quite a long time. And I'm an idiot because I didn't put when it existed, but it just depends on the country.
Carabeth, Carabeth, you still there?
Yeah.
Hello? Now's your time to shine.
Now's your time. Come on, get the sparkles out.
I'm just going to shut my window because I'm getting moths, and I'm not a fan of moths.
I don't like moths. Oh dear, it's not a nice stretch.
Right, I'm back. Go.
Guess who's back?
Go, go, go. So the year.
Oh, hang on. We've had
Hold
some...
on.
Hold
Cara
on.
Beth has come to the rescue. Do you want me to read it?
Yeah.
In some places, the prosecution can appeal the verdict too. Yes, the states and the federal government have different stances on it. Thank you, Cara Beth.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
She is our fact checker.
Well done. So, in this, my story takes place in the year 1876. So, also the 19th century.
Oh.
Actually, I think, isn't that like the exact year? I'm pretty sure it's...
What was it? Oh, no!
I don't know. I can't be bothered to check, but I'm pretty sure it was... So,
my story is about, the famous, like, kind of like cowboy, Wild Bill Hickok. Hickok? I keep wanting to say Hitchcock, but it's Hickox. It's not Hitchcock because that's what I keep trying to say. Come on.
1877. Mine was 1 year later.
Oh.
1 year out.
Oh.
So close, though. I think that's the closest that
close.
we've ever done it.
Yeah. Spooky.
Okay. Oh.
Do, do, do,
So,
do, do, do,
we'll
do.
As
just,
long as Carabeth doesn't have to spell things correctly. Don't worry, Carabeth. We can't pronounce things correctly, so...
Yeah, no. So I'll just kind of refer to Hickok guy as Wild Bill throughout the whole story. So Wild Bill was
What's
born
the Hickok? What's Hickok?
It's his last name.
Oh, is it Wild Bill Hickok?
Yeah. That's his name.
Okay.
But his born name was James Butler Hickok, but his like nickname is Wild Bill.
Okay.
Woo-hoo.
Oh, and also,
cowboy hat.
yeah. Also, I had a Willie. You had a Hickok.
Oh gosh, we've had all the dick.
Yeah.
Oh, and old Black Dick. Yeah.
Yeah. Everything. I think Tash missed that. I think she was in the toilet.
I think I missed old Black Dick.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Never mind. There's always next week.
Saucy. Right. So, Wild Bill. He was born on the 27th of May, 1837, in Illinois. He was a legend. No.
Watsika was in Illinois.
No. Really?
Whoa. What the fuck's going on?
Are you the same person?
I don't know.
Get out of my head. Get out of my head.
Yeah.
Oh, I just
What, like your
realised.
story?
Cara Beth said that Wild Bill, is that his name? Wild Bill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is a famous outlaw cowboy in the States.
Yeah. So we're going to get a little bit into his story, but his story is huge. I've condensed it immensely to fit into the podcast because if not, it would have been like a 2-episode thing. And for the 100th episode, that's kind of like not what we want. So I've had to condense him down like some condensed milk into a little can for the podcast. I don't know what I'm going on about.
I don't know what you're on about.
Anyway, so he was a legendary figure from the old American, the American Old West, known for his skills as a gunfighter, lawman, and gambler. Wild Bill's life was filled with adventure, danger, and ultimately a violent end.
Uh-oh.
Oh, but we already know, this is a long time ago, so we already know that he did. So
he did, yeah.
There's no shock there.
No, but, it could have been a peaceful way. I don't know.
Nah. This is not what happens. This is not what ever happens on my stories.
No, I suppose not. But I don't know if he's a murderer or the murderee.
Maybe.
See?
Maybe both. Kind of.
Maybe.
Everything went back then. So, Wild Bill grew up in a large family and showed an early interest he grew up in a large family and showed an early interest in the frontier life. He left home at a young age and worked as a stagecoach driver and lawman. Wild Bill's fame began to rise in the Civil War, where he served as a scout and spy for the Union Army. His sharp shooting skills and fearless nature earned him a formidable reputation. After the war, Wild Bill became a lawman in various frontier towns. Hold on. Sorry.
Did you go? Hold on. Or is there a really bad echo?
No, I did go hold on because it flicked my whole script up, and I was like, yeah, this is all cut out normally. Emma does a great job.
It's true, I do.
She does, it's true.
Yeah. So after the war, Wild Bill became a lawman in various frontier towns, including Hays City and Abilene in Kansas. Sorry if I'm destroying all these names. His time in these roles were marked by several gunfights that they all made the papers. This was so he was quite famous. One of the most famous was the shootout with Davis Tutt in Springfield, Missouri in 1865. While in Springfield, Wild Bill and a local gambler, Davis Tutt, had several disagreements over an unpaid gambling debt. And also their common affection for the same women. So, women drama.
That never ends well.
No. And also that just shows that this has always happened.
Yeah.
Drama. Wild Bill lost a gold watch to Davis Tutt in a poker game. The watch had great sentimental value to our Wild Bill, so he asked Tutt not to wear it in public because embarrassing. They initially agreed not to fight over the watch, but then when Wild Bill saw Tutt wearing it out in the bar one day, he was like, "Hey, you, that's not what we agreed. I'm not okay with that." I'm sure he said that in a real cowboy way though.
I was going to say that was not very cowboy.
I'm not okay with that.
I disagree with that entirely. Actually,
I am not okay. So then, Bill was like, "Hey, Tutt, you better stay away from me." And on the 21st of July,
His Yorkshire accent.
I can't do the accent. What it'll be? I think this would have been a good Tom moment. He would have swooped.
Yeah, he would have been really good at that.
See, Tom, what are you doing? eh? So on the 21st of July, 1865, they were like, cowboy, let's do the thing. So the two men faced off in Springfield's town square, standing sideways before drawing and firing their weapons. Yes, this
Wow,
really
wow,
happened.
wow, wow,
Yeah.
wow,
Wah, wah, wah. Yeah, that was happening.
wow. Tumbleweeds.
That happened.
That's my tumbleweed.
You're setting the scene. Just flying. One of them just pulls their hat slightly to tilts it to the side, and they're like,
Yeah.
their quick draw duel was recorded as the first of its kind. Touch shot missed, but while Bill's shot hit Tut right through the heart, about 75 yards away, which is about 69 meters.
Hey,
That's quite
69.
far.
Hey.
Didn't do that on purpose and didn't notice it the first time I put it down. And this is very funny. It's horrible because a man died. But that's when Tut was like, oh, I've been hit. And then he went, oh, boys, I'm killed. And then he collapsed and died.
Oh, God, they're not very inspiring last words, are they?
No,
I'm
boys,
killed.
I'm killed. But
We
while
still don't
Bill
say
was
that,
an
though, 'cause we're like, I'm dead. Yeah, go on.
he was an excellent gunsman. You said it earlier, so you know.
Yeah, he's already
fucked
got
around.
his reputation up. And
He
he found
fucked
out.
around and found out. Yeah.
Obviously, even though it was like the American Old West, you still can't just like randomly shoot each other over a watch. So 2 days later, Wild Bill was arrested for the murder. The charge was later reduced to manslaughter, and he was released on a $2,000 bail. He stood trial on the 3rd of August, 1865. At the end of the trial, Judge Sempronius H. Boyd told the jury
That's a
that they could
name.
not find. Yeah,
That is a name.
I don't know if I've spelled that right. I've said it right, even pronounced it right correctly. They could not find that Wild Bill acted in self-defense. That he could have reasonably avoided the fight. They didn't have to do that. However, they felt the threat of danger was real and imminent, and he instructed that they could apply the unwritten law of the fair fight and be like, well, fair fight. They both wanted to do it. Sweep that under the rug. Let's let him go. No prison.
Yeah. Okay.
So the jury voted to clear Wild Bill, resulting in public backlash and criticism of the verdict. Now,
Night, Darcy.
After all
Good luck
that-
with your exams tomorrow. Love you, Sissy.
Good luck for your exams. Bye.
bye. So back in the Old West, you think like even if you kind of got off with a murder charge, you can't just become a sheriff or part of government. But
Well,
yeah,
no.
you could do that then.
You could. Why not?
Yeah. So in July of 1869, Wild Bill returned to Hays and was elected City Marshal of Hays and Sheriff of Ellis County, Kansas. In a special election held on the 21st of August, on the 23rd of August, 1869, he was elected after
69.
three sheriffs.
Oi,
Yeah.
oi.
After three sheriffs had
Oi.
quit during the you children. After three sheriffs had quit during the previous 18 months, I think it was a bit of a ropey town, and the sheriffs was just like, had enough. So they went through three sheriffs in 18 months.
Oh, it's never a good look, is
Yeah.
it?
It's not,
Yeah,
but until Wild Bill comes along, he's going to sort them.
yeah. And his
Always getting
reputation as a
involved.
sharpshooter was making people behave. Because I've only told you about one shootout, duel, There was
Oh, tell
loads
us
more,
more.
and like yeah, there was loads more, but that was like the most well known. And like this time from in the war and stuff, just shooting people left, right, and centre. So
Shanta.
his reputation as a sharp shooter made people behave a little bit in the beginning when he first started being sheriff. So in his first month as sheriff, he killed 2 men. The first was
Hell.
Bill Mulvey, that Bill Mulvey, everyone's called Bill, who was galloping through the town on a rampage, drunk and shooting out mirrors and whiskey bottles behind bars. Citizens
rebel.
warned Mulvey to behave because while Bill was sheriff and he was on the prowl and wanted, not the prowl, he was like being sheriffy and making sure people didn't do that.
Yeah.
He
Holding
just
up
wasn't
the
putting up with
law.
that shit, was he?
He was just wasn't having it. Mulvey angrily declared that he had come to town to kill Wild Bill, and when he saw him, he levelled and cocked his rifle at him. Wild Bill waved his hand past Mulvey at some supposed onlookers, like pointed elsewhere, basically did the good old look over there to this drunk man look behind you, this drunk man on a horse. And Mulvey wheeled his horse around, in the opposite. He like basically turned his horse around to look behind him, and that's when Wild Bill just shot him through the temple. Poof, and that's it.
That was a
He went
sneaky
down.
move, Wild Bill.
That was sneaky.
That was sneaky.
Back when look behind you. I think this must be the story where all those films got their idea. Like, hey, look behind you, bang, or let them run away. He had all the tricks. These were new tricks back then. The second man killed by Wild Bill was Samuel Strawhan, a cowboy who was causing a disturbance in a saloon. A cowboy who was causing a disturbance in a saloon at 1 a.m. on the 27th of September the same year. When Wild Bill went to the scene, Strawhan made remarks against him, and so he killed him with a shot through the head because he was trying to restore order. So anyone that kind of gets on his tits a little bit is just like, you're dead, bang.
It a bit
feels
like
dramatic.
He's overreacting somewhat.
Somewhat,
Do you know what
yeah.
it is?
Especially,
The power's gone to his head.
That's it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just think he's a bit of a drama queen. He's like, what did you just say to me? Bang! I'm sheriff, so you can't do anything. This little star protects me.
I feel like it must have sucked so hard to be alive back then. Can you imagine? I mean, you could just get shot for
Just
no
get a bit
reason.
drunk and get shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, mind
That's not
you,
mentioning all the bar brawls, all the stuff.
yeah, I was going to say, is it that different nowadays? They're all packing.
I think it was all
People
a
have
little
more
bit more
self-control.
gung-ho back
Yeah,
then. Yeah.
they have more self-control. Like, I feel like there wasn't that much value on somebody's life. Like, if they pissed you off, killing somebody wasn't really the end of the world.
Yeah. And I just think they were all really drunk all the time as well. So,
Probably.
and it was normalized. So Wild Bill also had a dispute with a saloon owner called Phil Kerr. This happened in Kansas as well. So Kerr and his partner Ben Thompson had painted an obscene. Kerr and his partner Ben Thompson had painted an obscene image on their saloon, which, well, Bill didn't like
it. No.
He didn't like that. Didn't like an obscene image. I don't know. Not whether it was a naked lady.
It was boobs. I thought
maybe
boobs.
something, probably boobs. So Wild Bill was like, I'm not having that. So he altered it and then asked them to remove it. This angered Coe, who attempted to provoke and another man, John Wesley Harding, into killing Wild Bill. But Harding declined. And on the 5th of October 1871, during a street brawl, Coe fired 2 shots. Wild Bill ordered his arrest, but Coe turned his gun on Wild Bill and shot. He just turned around and shot. Oh God, I can't speak. Wild Bill ordered his. What the hell? I cannot speak.
Are you okay? Do you need?
I don't know. I'm near the end. I'm getting there. Wild Bill ordered his arrest, but Coe turned around and started pointing his gun at him. So Wild Bill was like, "Well, you're pointing your gun at me now, so I'm just going to kill you." Bang bang. And
He's dramatic. He needs to chill out.
I don't think he did chill out though.
During the confrontation, Wild Bill accidentally killed Albany's special deputy. He also accidentally killed his deputy, which is Michael Mike Williams.
It happens,
was
guys.
Running to assist him. So he was kind of people kind of shooting everywhere, and he turns around and sees someone running towards him, shoots him as well, but it ends up to be his deputy.
That fucking sucks. That's bad.
Yeah. The tragic incident was the last gunfight that Wild Bill was involved in, and led to his dismissal as marshal 2 months later. And also, he never really got over it. So after he's not sheriff anymore, he gets into gambling. So we're getting all the cowboy stuff.
Yeah, that's a likely thing to pick up after. Yeah.
Good transition.
Yeah. Yeah,
no?
Yeah.
So Wild Bill, Sad Bill, was a well-known gambler. He was a well-known gambler, often seen in saloons playing poker. His lifestyle as a gambler was risky, leading to numerous confrontations, and adding to his legendary status as like Mr. Sharpshooting. However, it was this aspect of his life that would eventually lead to his death. On the 1st of August, 1876, Wild Bill Hickok was playing poker at the Nuttall and Mann Saloon in Deadwood, Dakota Territory. A drunken man named Jack McCall, who I think he had a weird nickname like Bent Nose Jack or Broken Nose Jack, something like that. He joined the game. Jack started, because he was already drunk, Jack started losing heavily. And Wild Bill advised Jack to quit while he was ahead and to cover his losses. Wild Bill offered him money for breakfast. Offered him some money to get himself some breakfast the next day. Jack accepted but felt insulted. He was like,
"What did he have for breakfast?"
I don't know.
Oh.
But the following day,
you can't accept and be insulted. It's one or the other.
Yeah, give me that. How dare you?
Yeah, exactly. You've got to choose. You've got to choose.
Yeah, you can't have your cake and eat it too. The following day,
I disagree. Lots of people have their cake and they eat it.
Well, they shouldn't.
They shouldn't, but they do.
Yeah. The following day,
The following day, she went proper Yorkshire. The following day,
Wild Bill returned to the poker table, breaking his usual habit of living there back to work. So the following day,
I know I'm meant to be the common one.
He returned to the poker table. Basically, it was like, back to the poker. This time, he broke his usual habit of sitting with his back to the wall so that no one could sneak up on him. He took the only available seat at the table, facing away from the door. He asked someone else at the table twice to see if they would swap seats with him, but they both declined. Then, enter through the swinging doors, Jack.
I've got a visual.
Jack pops in. Yeah, you can see it. Silhouette.
Hang on.
That's definitely on just from the outside.
It's a tumbleweed.
That's such a good tumbleweed.
Yeah.
Wow, wow, wow.
Anyway, he's there. Open doors.
He's there.
Open. Tumbleweeds everywhere.
Entered the saloon.
Music's playing.
Approached.
Women doing the can. It's all going on.
No, I reckon everyone's just like, oh. But apart from Bill doesn't turn around.
Because he doesn't know, because he's in the wrong spot.
Because he's in the wrong seat. He's not got his eye everywhere. Also, I forgot to mention this. While Bill's eyesight was rapidly declining as well,
no.
so he couldn't see as well as
he was
what
like
he was
this.
used to. What's it? It's a space. No, he could still see, but it's not as well as he used to. That's why he wasn't as sharp a shot. I think that's why he shot his deputy, because he couldn't see who it was. Jack entered the saloon,
shot the sheriff.
approached while Bill
Thank
from
God.
behind.
I was thinking that all along.
I didn't shoot the deputy.
But he did.
Ooh, I shot the deputy.
Because I could not see well. Should have gone to Specsavers. I forget that we're on a live. Right.
They enjoy it.
There's 300 people watching us on YouTube right now, Becky.
300.
Really, there is.
No, I just wanted to make you shit yourself.
I was like,
you were dead excited, and then I felt instantly bad. I just wanted her to panic that she'd.
so mean.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, backfired, didn't it?
It did.
Backfired.
You got far too excited about that.
Right. So, Bent-Nosed Jack comes in the saloon, tumbleweed. And he approached while Bill from behind drew out his pistol and shot him in the back of the head with a Colt Model 1973 single action army 45 caliber revolver. So I bet you know what that is.
I imagine it's
a
gun.
It's one that they fling around their finger and go pew.
Yeah.
What? The twisty thing.
Shot him. He went, and he shouted, "Damn you! Take that!" While Bill died instantly.
Oh.
The bullet exited through his right cheek and hit William Massey, a riverboat captain, in the left wrist.
Oh my God.
While Bill had reportedly expressed his concern to his friend Charlie Utter about being killed in Deadwood, because it would have been ironic. At the time of his death, while Bill was holding a poker hand of 2 pairs, black aces and eights, which has since become known as the dead man's hand.
Ooh.
Have you heard of that in poker before?
Never played poker.
I swear we played poker together. I think you're lying. Have we not played poker together before when we were younger? When Tristan got his poker set?
No, I definitely don't remember doing that.
Probably not.
We were probably drinking black vodka somewhere whilst the boys were doing it.
Yeah, somewhat drunk. Yeah.
Talking about mascara or
the
something. That's what girls do.
of the fifth card. The identity of the 5th card in his hand remains disputed. Ding, ding, ding. So, what happened to Jack McCall? So, Jack McCall claims Bent-nosed Jack, claimed that he killed Wild Bill to avenge his brother's death. Many details of McCall's life are unknown. He was most likely born in the early 1850s in Jefferson County, Kentucky. Jack McCall was raised in Kentucky with 3 sisters and eventually drifted west to become a buffalo hunter. By 1876, he was living in a gold mining camp outside Deadwood under the alias Bill Sutherland. So he'd like changed his name.
Is that not Sutherland?
No, oh yeah, it is. It's Sutherland, not Sutherland. So I had internet sleuth in my head for some reason. Sutherland. So, at his trial, an impromptu court was called to order with the prosecution and defense and jury made up of local miners and businessmen. They were like, right, makeshift trial, boom, let's do this. On trial the next day in like the local theatre, because they didn't have a courthouse, Jack McCall claimed his actions were in retribution of Wild Bill having previously killed his brother in Albany, Kansas. Jack McCall was found not guilty after 2 hours. The verdict brought the verdict.
The verdict?
I'm not written here. The verdict. I don't know what I've written. The verdict brought the Black Hills Pioneer to editorialize. Should it ever be in our misfortune to kill a man, we would simply ask that our trial may take place in some of the mining camps of these hills. So they basically kind of like declared themselves like a proper law and courthouse. That you can't just do that, even back then. So he was declared like not guilty. They were like, "Oh, he killed your brother, so that's fine."
Yeah, an eye for an eye.
Yeah.
Yeah. So fearing for his safety, Bent-nosed Jack left the area and headed to Wyoming territory, where he repeatedly bragged at local saloons about killing Wild Bill in a fair gunfight. But Wyoming authorities refused to recognize the result of his trial acquittal on the grounds that the court in Deadwood had no legal jurisdiction. Because Deadwood was not under a legally constituted law enforcement or court system, because it was just basically a load of miners together, officials argued that Jack should be tried for murder again, agreeing that the federal court in Yankton, Dakota Territory, declared that double jeopardy did not apply, and they set a date for his retrial. So, because the first trial wasn't actually a real trial, they could try it.
No,
again.
they just made
trial,
one. Yeah.
Yeah. You can't just make up a little mini government.
Yeah. No, of course not.
Yeah. The trial began on the 4th of December, 1876. No witnesses were called for the defense, and the guilty verdict came in at 10:15 p.m. A few days later, on the 6th of December. Jack McCall stated that he had been heavily intoxicated at the time of the murder and did not remember any of the details of the event. He requested a new trial as well, as he claimed that his name was not legally Jack McCall. He said that he was trying to make himself be out as his alias. He's trying to say that that's not my real name, so I should get another trial again.
Okay.
But the judge didn't believe his story and sentenced Jack McCall to death by hanging. And it was actually discovered that he didn't even have a brother. So how can he revenge?
He was
I found some reports saying that he didn't have a brother. yeah. And then I found a report that he did have a brother, but he died. Nothing to do with the Wild Bill at all.
So why did he
So
kill
at
him?
10:15, just
He
because
didn't
he was
like the
drunk and
breakfast.
embarrassed. Yeah. Yeah. He came
Well,
back
he
and he was
didn't.
like, Weatherspoons do better breakfast.
No, but
Yeah, he
seriously,
was embarrassed.
Because he'd ridiculed him, hadn't he?
he'd ridiculed.
Yeah.
He'd ridiculed.
He ridiculed him. How,
Yeah.
What is that? How you say it?
Ridiculed.
Ridiculed.
What did I say?
Like I
Ridiculed.
don't, not the right thing.
Okay.
I'm nearly at the end, girls, I promise.
Okay, babe.
I was having a burp. At 10:15 a.m. on the 1st of March 1877, McCall was hanged in a public execution in Yankton at age 24, which is stupid because on the pictures I thought he was about 56, but no, he's 24.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
hard.
It was hard. Yeah, it was hard.
Yeah. So he was hanged on the 1st of March 1877 and buried in Roman Catholic cemetery. When the cemetery was relocated in 1881, McCall's body was exhumed with the noose still around his neck.
Oh,
So
God.
they just cut him down and popped him straight in his coffin.
Yeah, yeah. You get to keep the noose. You got to keep the noose, you know.
Yeah. Got to take
I
that
just
with him.
assumed they reused them.
And so did I. I just thought they'd pull them off and use it for the next guy. Wild Bill Hickok's life and death have become the stuff of legend, symbolizing the lawlessness and rough justice of the American frontier. He has been portrayed in countless films, books, TV shows, cementing his status as one of the iconic figures of the Old West. Despite the myths and embellishments surrounding his life, Wild Bill remains a historical figure whose real-life exploits and untimely death continue to fascinate and capture the imagination of many. And that's it, curtain drawn, saloon door shut, tumbleweed, and we exit the scene.
Well done, Becky.
Thank you.
Thanks.
That was so
Sorry for
different.
blubbering my way. Yeah.
It's fine. That's what you do.
I'm going to think of your tumbleweed later.
Did you know tumbleweeds really do roll across the road in the wind? They are dead sage bush. Bush.
That's exactly what I was going for. I was thinking, right, dead
If
sage
I was a
bush.
dead, if I was a
How
dead
would I
sage
move?
bush,
Yeah.
and do you know
Yeah.
what? You captured it.
Yeah, I think I did all right.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Oh, she goes again. It's windy there.
Wind
you
keeps
shut the
changing
window.
directions weirdly.
No, it's whipping up.
Oh,
You know when
dear.
it whips up. Woo!
I'm not going to do that.
No, don't.
Right, good.
Is a tumbleweed the way that it seeds itself elsewhere, or is it
No,
like
it's
a dead
it's
plant that's
dead
growing there?
sage bush.
All right.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
I bet that was
Oh,
Carabeth, wasn't
It was.
it?
Thanks, babe.
Cheers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you, everyone. For those who stuck with us till the end.
Congratulations. Well done.
Well done.
Little peek
Congrats.
into what it's really like on Spine Chillers and Serial Killers.
Yeah. Welcome to my nightmare while nobody else is looking.
She wouldn't have us any other way.
I wouldn't. The thing is, if there weren't all these cock-ups and natters and things that drive me absolutely mental when we're editing, it wouldn't be as good. It wouldn't be
No.
us. So
She love it.
I love it. But I will be cursing you tomorrow when I actually have to get and do it.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's not just you. I'm sure I went off on a little
Yeah,
rant.
it's definitely attached to you.
Yeah.
It's definitely me. So
Should we let him go?
Yeah.
So we can
Yeah.
wrap up our 100th episode.
Thank you so much for sticking with us the whole time.
And thanks for watching and chatting to us. It was so lovely.
It was.
Tash was just like,
No, because I was reading
It
the
was.
messages. I was reading the messages, sorry.
Yeah, thank you so much for staying with us. Oh, you both froze then. You were like, not as good as earlier.
Yeah.
just as a little, treat.
Yes, Tash was
Just as a little
froze
treat.
again and just moved suddenly.
Show the photo of how we froze
Ah.
earlier.
Hold on,
Just as
Erin.
a
We're not
treat.
going yet. Just have a look at this nice treat.
You have
Oh, you have
oh
to
no,
move
we
it
can't
closer.
see it. Oh, and it's not.
Well, maybe I can post it live to the chat.
Oh yeah, maybe.
No, I don't think I can.
Oh well.
My
We
ears
will
are
put it on
dying.
Facebook.
I'm getting
Yeah,
We'll
so
put it on
mine.
Facebook. Thanks
Here's
so
to the
much for
next-
listening, guys. Here's the
to
next.
100.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was going to say that.
yeah. You say it. You go.
No,
You go.
No,
You go.
please.
You go.
Here's
Keep
the next one.
fucking-
I said it first. Oh, say it properly.
Here's to the next 100 episodes. We hope you stick with us. We hope you keep listening. Give us feedback. What do you want to hear? What should my next segment be? I've done Tinder with Tash. I've done that's gross. What should I do next? Tell me. I'll do it. It will be fun.
Oh, and we're having a little break, which don't be cross with it. Yeah, don't be cross. But as you know, I'm miles away from my microphone, so I have no idea how that's going to sound. As you all know, right, I'm going to start that again because I was miles away. We are having a little break after this episode comes out because we have children that are going to be on their summer holidays, which means life is going to become substantially more difficult.
Yeah.
So we are going to have July off, which actually, when you think about it, is only like 2 episodes that will be missed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, we'll be back in August with the last of season 4, or maybe we'll start season 5. Who knows?
Who knows what we'll do?
Who knows? But we are coming back.
We definitely are.
We
Thanks for listening, guys. Remember to share with your friends, your family, your vet, your doctor, your gynecologist, the
down there.
the girl that serves you coffee every day. Share with everyone, talk about us, get everyone listening to us so we can keep on making more. We really, really do enjoy having you listen every single week. So yeah, keep listening, keep sharing, keep preaching.
And stay
About
safe, maybe.
Yeah, stay safe, guys.
Yeah, don't kill people.
And keep it weird.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.
Is it gone?